Hello and welcome to Forgotten Temples. I'm inside that white building I just showed you at the front there. And I'm going to start with a quick confession. I feel absolutely awful. You see, I suffer from chronic depression. And I had a terrible attack last night. It manifests itself in many ways. But it's so often my dreams turn into nightmares, and in those nightmares I'm crying uncontrollably. That leaves me the next morning feeling just paralyzed by what I call the black dog depression. Because Winston Churchill, he called it the black dog, and he would say to people, the black dog is with me. And that was his way of saying, look, I'm not too good at the minute, give me a bit of space. So I am walking today and for a few days with the black dog. But why am I telling you this? Well, it almost killed me for starters because I became a chronic alcoholic trying to escape it. But with yourself and myself, it's more relevant because I keep saying to you, get some crunch, get out there, do something different. Every day, a single thing different. Even if it's just standing on one leg whilst you brush your teeth, whatever it is, do something different. So I feel absolutely rotten. But what I do is throw my body onto that bike and go somewhere. And I actually look to try and see something unique so I can go to bed and say, well, that was different. Something happened today that was different, and that's good. I've learned or I've seen something. And already something has. I was driving down the road and there was this river of school kids going to school on their little push bikes. And I wave at them, you see, and they all wave back, hello, hello, hello. That was until the last kid drifted by. And he drifted by, and as he did, he went. And this is a very polite culture. So there you go. That's something new that's happened to me. I mean, it's hardly beneficial, but it's something different. And this is something different as well. Have a look at this building. I absolutely love buildings like this. I feel very at home in them. I don't know why. Because this was a mighty building. It's a very old building. And I do have a temple, by the way. There's a temple just through that door. But give me a moment. Look at this thing. It's got these huge tree trunks, which are holding up this roof. And from the outside, it looks like it's German or Austrian or something. But if it's going to have an influence, it's a very, very, very old French building, I would say. But it's absolutely amazing. It's now a cow shed, so I'm standing in poo. So I'm not feeling too good. And someone's told me, up yours, and I'm standing in poo. But strangely, it's making me feel a bit better because I'm doing something different. I'm standing in crap. Oh dear. Right, let's have a little less of this and get through that doorway and introduce you to Char Leu, which is a little dumpy temple, and it's going to take no time at all to go around. But I'm sure it has its treasures, for it has beckoned me from a rather dark cloud towards its warm embrace. Right, now Char Leu, the actual temple, is directly behind me, but I want to take you in here because blimey, we seem to be in the land of abandoned buildings. This is an old pagoda that has just been left, quite simply. Yet again, we're walking in poo. What you can see here are these stripes here and here is bird crap, because they've been in the rafters above. But why I'm in here with you, and bear in mind we still have Buddha here, but nobody comes in here because there's no footprints in all this dust. We are making new footprints. So it's you and I venturing to a place where no one goes to anymore. And what is interesting to me is these wall paintings, because they've got to be jolly old. They're very basic in their style. They are much more vibrant, much more intricate, much more detailed nowadays. But there's something else which kind of relates to temples. If we look up here, can you see this wonderful, wonderful roof? That is made of wood, and this is what would have been in our ancient temples. They did have hooks coming off the walls, and then they would have wood going across, and that wood would have been carved. And here is that now abandoned altar. It's hard to believe, isn't it? But I assure you, the only footprints making their way through the dust and the dirt are in fact ours. And here are those lovely old paintings that someone was so terribly proud of but now forgotten. So it is from one abandoned temple, a more modern one, to this. There he is, an ancient abandoned temple. And it's quite comforting to think that, isn't it, that he's not alone. I do think of these things as almost sentient beings, you know. He's not alone because he's got his chum here, and they can share their woes of how they were once mighty, but now they're neglected. It always reminds me of, I don't know, the old gentleman who was a World War II hero or something, who sits quietly on a bench in the corner of the park, and no one knows that he was once known as Blazing Guns Bob, who took on, I don't know, 15 panzers and beat the living crap out of them. For his glory days are gone, which is terribly sad. But you and I can enjoy them because already there's something here that is really, really, really cool. Let me adjust my camera and I will show you. Now, oh so often, the center of these temples, the heart, is gone, and it's the same here. There's no statue. But we do have a treat, and it's pretty much the only thing on this temple. And it is this. Have a look. His face and features are all there. Now, I'm not too sure who that is. I've got a good guess, but I'm not going to say. But I will find out. And it is quite remarkable because he's actually got his face and his details. It's so close to being a statue. It's amazing. So this is an absolute peach of a find. So that's it. There is Char Leu. Not an awful lot to say about him, and of course the history is lost to ancient time. But up there is an ancient carving that's this far away from being one of those mythical statues I forever hunt and have very, very rarely found. So he's a little dumpy sausage, but he's got, I don't know, he's like a big diamond ring he's wearing. He's got something special, and it's always nice to know he's not alone, for directly here is a much more modern pagoda, but it is also growing old gracefully, so they can walk hand in hand through the autumn of life. This has been Mr. B, Forgotten Temples of Cambodia. My Patreon account, if you wish to buy me a tank of petrol, which I'd greatly appreciate, is patreon.com/temples. I welcome all comments, no matter what they are, because it's just nice to know that somebody's watching. Until next time, and I take you by the hand off to some foreign land, I wish you nothing but the very best. Take good care.